Queen, welcome or welcome back to another video. I'm so excited about today's video. We are doing the last bookish reset for 2025 because December is next week, or when you're seeing this video it will either be December tomorrow or already December. So happy Christmas, besties. I am literally so excited for this time of year. It is honestly my favourite for two reasons. That was two reasons. First reason is because it's Christmas, and Christmas is my favourite time of year. I just love how festive it is. I'm always in such a good mood at this time of year. I honestly wait for it all year round. And the second reason why I love this time of year is because I love New Year. Like, I love the idea of starting a new year and you don't know what's going to happen in that year. Like, you don't know what opportunities are going to come to you in the next year. And I just feel like it is the perfect time to refresh, reset, and I don't know, I just get really excited about like the opportunities. So I'm very excited about 2026 because I have a good feeling about it. Anyway, we're not going to ramble about that. We are doing the reset today. I've already put loads of my clothes on Vinted. Like, I'm fully resetting my entire life. But enough about that. The first step of the reset is to decorate the flat for Christmas. I literally can't wait. I actually went to Soston Green, however you say that, and bought some decorations to put on my bookshelf. So I'm going all out. The decorations are going to go in the bedroom as well on the shelf because this is my first Christmas with my baby, my bookshelf, and I'm very excited about it. I've got some little bits to put on there, and then obviously we're going to do the tree. We're going to start with the tree. That is the biggest task, and I don't know how long that's going to take, but I'm so excited. And then we need to pick a new book because I finished Brimstone last night. We will talk about that later. And I have been reading City of Gods and Monsters, but I don't know if I'm going to continue with the next book. It depends on the ending. So we need to pick a new book out. And yeah, I don't really know. We're gonna have a fun time resetting for December. Let's go. All my Christmas decorations are in this box. We don't have a huge amount of decorations just because our flat is quite small. And then this is the tree. I'm gonna go put the tree up because I'm a little bit scared about that and Alex isn't here to help me. And then we will get the decorations out. I got it up. I'm so glad. I was so confused at first. I couldn't work out how to put the base on, but I figured it out. Honestly, it's not the greatest tree of all time. It was like £30 from Argos a few years ago. I've gone for a little bit of tinsel this year just because there's a lot of gaps that you can see, like here. It's not like a full tree, it's just like an affordable one. So I put a little bit of tinsel on just to fill some of the gaps, just to see if it will make it look any better. Don't normally put tinsel on the tree, but we're going all out this year. I've also stuck on like a really terrible looking Christmas movie called Champagne Problems on Netflix. So I'm gonna have that one in the background while I add the decorations. Oh, I'm so excited.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Here is the final look. Oh my god. It's not perfect by any means, but I do think it is very cute. I do want to get some more decorations though, because I do think we can do better than that. I think it could be fuller. So I'm going to get some more. Also, the lights are only working on the top half of the tree. So I've done something wrong there, but Alex will sort that out. As I said earlier, I've got a few little decorations and things that I want to put on the bookshelf.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy
with all of my Christmas decorations. I think they look very cute. My favourite is the little book tree that I've got on my bedside table. I just think it's so adorable. I don't know why I've never done that before, but I'm obsessed, so now I will be doing it every single year. I haven't posted a reading wrap up since August, and I have in fact read 22 books since the end of August, so October and November, which I think is a lot. So instead of going through all of the books that I read, I thought we could just go through some of the books that I read, because otherwise we'll be here all day and we haven't got time for that. And then I thought we could just go through some of the books that I actually have something to say about rather than every single one of them. So let's start with the two books that I read most recently. And of course they are Quicksilver and Brimstone. Oh my god. I just love this series so much, and after reading Brimstone I have so many questions, but let's just recap. So I read Quicksilver for the first time last year, and I knew that Brimstone was coming out, and I knew I wasn't going to remember a single thing that happened in this book, so I started rereading it a couple of weeks ago, maybe like last week, I don't even know at this point. I fell in love with it all over again. Like, I was right in guessing that I wasn't going to remember anything about it, and I'm so glad that I reread it, because I honestly would not have been able to get into Brimstone without rereading Quicksilver. So this is your sign to reread Quicksilver before reading Brimstone. The other thing I would say is read the bonus chapters. Most of them are free to read on Callie Hart's website. I thought that there was only the one in this book. I was not aware that there were more bonus chapters from Kingfisher's point of view other than the one that was in this book. There's actually quite a few of them, but you can read most of them online on her website, and I kind of wish that I'd done that before reading this, because the ending of this book I was like, what? Like, I was like, how did we get here? Like, what is going on? And I read like half of the first one, it's called like The Gate, on my phone last night, and I was like, I wish I'd read that before reading Brimstone. So if you haven't read Brimstone yet, go and read the bonus chapters from Quicksilver before you head into this, because I am left with so many questions. Like, the ending, honestly, I was like, how are we ending the book here? I need answers. This is not the end of a chapter. This is like the middle of a chapter. Like, where's the rest? So yeah, I mean, I have a lot of questions, but I loved it. I rated it 4.75 stars just because it didn't feel like a 5 stars. I rate all of my books based on feelings. I don't have like an actual rating system, and it didn't give me 5 stars, but it was so close. So close to being 5 stars. So yeah, 4.75 stars for Brimstone, 5 stars for Quicksilver, and yeah, I think this is definitely one of my favourite series of all time. I cannot wait for the third and final book because I need answers. And another series that I read recently is the Chatty series. Now, these are so many books here. I read this series for the first time, I think it was this month, it was November. To be honest, my thoughts on this are that it isn't my favourite series in the world. I know that it is a favourite for so many people, and I think the only reason why this series isn't a favourite for me is because I read it as an adult and I didn't read it as a teenager. I think if I'd have read this for the first time as a teenager, I would have been obsessed. Okay, I'm gonna put these down. It's written very young, and I think as an adult it just didn't quite hit, but I do think that it is worth the read if you haven't read it yet. I did enjoy it, don't get me wrong, but I only rated them like around 3 stars. I don't think I actually rated any of them higher than 3 stars. My favourite in the series was Restore Me, because in this one we start to get the POV of another main character, and I feel like that actually added to the story, only because I hated the female main character in this series. She's just so annoying. But I think as a young person I'd have loved her and thought she was iconic, but I just didn't like her as an adult, sorry. So yeah, I read that series. I also hated the novellas. I think they were a massive waste of time, but I've kind of talked about that a bit on my shorts, so go and watch those videos for my reasoning on that. A thriller book that I read and loved this month was The Intruder by Frida McFadden. I do find that Frida's books can be a little bit hit or miss sometimes. I actually really enjoyed this one. I felt like the plot twists in it were like insane, and they just kept coming, like they just didn't stop, and I didn't predict any of them personally. I've seen quite a lot of mixed reviews on that book recently. The thing is with Frida, I think that she releases too many books, and sometimes they can feel a little bit rushed, and sometimes they're very predictable. I kind of love her for that, because you always know what you're going to get with a Frida book, and you know it's going to be really easy to read and binge. So if you want something that you're going to be able to sit and read in like one sitting, or something that you're going to be able to get through quite quickly, I definitely recommend The Intruder by Frida McFadden, because it's just quite quick, it's quite fast paced, it's not very long either, and the plot twists were really good. So I absolutely loved that book. I really enjoyed it, and I'd really recommend it. And the last book I'm going to discuss with you right now is Belladonna. So I read this as part of my November book club. I'm going to pop a little link in the description box so you guys can join if you would like to. We're planning to read a festive book next month, which I'm very excited about. Belladonna is basically like it's kind of like a mystery fantasy book, I would say, and it's basically about this 19-year-old girl, Signa, who is orphaned as a baby, and she ends up having to like move around and live with different people as she grows up, but most of the people that she lives with are only interested in her wealth, that they will be able to inherit money from. But then she ends up going to stay with the Hawthorns, and the mum of the family in the Hawthorns, she dies, and then the daughter ends up having the same illness as the mother, and the mother's spirit comes back to tell Signa that she was poisoned, and then Signa has to then try and work out who poisoned the family and what is going on basically. But I actually really enjoyed this book. It was so easy to read and there was enough romance in there that it was like quite cute and like warm and fuzzy, but also it was giving Bridgerton. So I'd really recommend this one. Actually, I really enjoyed it. I really want to read book 2, but I honestly don't know at this point when I'm going to be able to get to book 2. I feel like I'm in the middle of so many series at the moment and I can't cope with it. Like, I'm stressed at this point in time. I need to like sit and make a list of all of the books that I am in the middle of, all of the series that I'm in the middle of, because I don't even know. I need to try and work that out. Maybe I can do that for next year. Maybe that can be something that I do next year, is try to finish some of the series that I'm reading. Oh, actually, talking of being in the middle of a series, the current book that I'm reading is City of Gods and Monsters. I am really enjoying this, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's a 5-star read. I'm not like obsessed with it, but I've seen so many good reviews about the series in general that I think I'm going to continue with the series. But I'm also going to pick from the jar and pick something from my TBR shelf to have as like a physical copy, because I do like to read 2 books in one go. Like, I like to have a Kindle version and paperback version, so I can kind of flip between the 2, because sometimes I'm just not in the mood, do you know what I mean? And after finishing Brimstone, I'm kind of in the mood for something like cute and fluffy. So why don't we have a look in the jar and see if we can pick something new to read from the TBR. A book with your favourite colour on the cover. Okay, we have picked the next book that we will be reading from the TBR. I Hope This Finds You Well by Natalie Sue. I'm very excited to read this book because I was actually sent it by HarperCollins a while ago, and yeah, I think this sounds really good. So this is basically about this woman who works in an office who hates her co-workers, and then basically by accident IT gives her access to everybody's private emails. But then at first she's a bit like, whoa, this is horrific, but then after a while she realizes that actually this gives her a lot of power in the office, and then she uncovers things about her co-workers that she didn't think she was going to find out, basically. I'm very excited to see what she uncovers from the emails. However, in case you don't know already, if you don't follow me on Book Talk, I do a series called The Shelf Reset, and that basically is me trying to read all of the books on my physical and Kindle TBR, but I use jars to do this. So I actually just revamped the series, and now I have 3 jars to choose from. Let me get them. And originally I was just picking a TBR prompt from one of the jars, and then that would be it basically, and then I would just read that book, and then the next episode would be me like recapping the book that I read, like my thoughts and stuff, and then choosing a new one. But I've decided that it needed a little bit of an upgrade because it's a bit boring and I wanted to make it more fun for you guys to watch. So now I pick from the first jar, which is white slips of paper, and in here is a lot of different prompts. So they're the same prompts that I had before basically, but in a new jar. And then the second jar is this one with the green prompts in it, and these are basically like setting the vibe for when I start the book. So I thought that instead of just having 1 episode, I could have 2, and the second part of the episode would be me starting the book but with the vibe from the jar. When I picked the prompt from this jar for this book, it said in the coffee shop. So now that means that when I start reading this book, I have to start reading it in the coffee shop and do like a little reading vlog, which I think is so fun and so cute because I personally love to film reading vlogs. However, the only issue is I don't get paid until Friday, and honestly, like, I do not have enough money to go to the coffee shop right now. So I will not be starting this anytime soon. It'll probably be at the weekend. If I get time to go to a coffee shop, then I will be able to do that. But right now, it's not really on the cards for me. And then the last jar that I have is this one with pink paper in it, and in this one is loads of book suggestions from you guys. So I can only pick from this jar every time I gain another 1,000 followers over on BookTok. I haven't gained 1,000 followers on BookTok since I started the series, so I haven't picked from this jar yet, but there are some books in here that I'm absolutely terrified to read. So I'm actually excited to be able to pick from here, which probably won't be anytime soon, but hopefully soon I will be able to. So these are the TBR jars. There's like a little roundup of my series. Hello! It has been ages since I updated this vlog because I've been at work, but it's finally the weekend and I finally got paid. So we are going to head to the coffee shop as promised to read I Hope This Finds You Well by Natalie Sue. I'm actually so excited to start this because I have had it on my TBR for a little while and I think it's going to be so much fun to read. So let's get going to the coffee shop and start this book. I am back from the coffee shop and so far so good with this book. So I actually managed to read 29 pages and I'm a few chapters in and I'm actually really enjoying this book. Now I think this is exactly what I needed for now because I've been reading a lot of like fantasy books recently. I love fantasy. I think it is genuinely my favourite. Well, I like romantasy specifically. I think that's my favourite genre by far, and I just love it so much. But I do think that when you've been reading it over and over again, like so much, it does start to weigh you down a little bit, and sometimes you just need something light and fluffy, and this book I think is going to give me exactly that, light and fluffy. Already it's made me smile a few times, and already I've kind of been like entertained, and that's exactly what I think I need. I am still reading Souls and Sinners on my Kindle, which is the second book in the House of Devils series, and do you know what? I'm enjoying it. Don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying it, but I'm not loving it. Like, I've seen people say this is like a good tier series, and maybe it's the fact that it's urban fantasy. Maybe that's just not for me as much as normal fantasy. But yeah, I don't know. It's not that I've been bored, because when I'm reading it, I'm enjoying it. But I'm not like thinking about it. I'm not like dying to know what happens. I think I am going to finish the series just because I'm already like halfway through quite a few series, and I kind of just want one rounded off. So I think I will read the last book. But yeah, it's definitely not going to be a favourite of mine, so I think this is going to be the perfect read to read alongside the fantasy book. So yeah, first thoughts are very positive and I'm enjoying it. Right, I've decided to sit down for the rest of the afternoon and try and make my way through Souls and Sinners. I actually forgot to mention that I finished City of Gods and Monsters. I rated it 3 stars, and then I moved straight on to City of Souls and Sinners. So I'm trying to make my way through that. I'm only 35% of the way through, but I'm just gonna sit here. I've got some Christmassy ambience on. I've got my tree lights on. I've got my candles. I've got my blanket. I'm gonna get so cozy right now and just read this book. Also, I just have to tell someone this. I just tried the Free Soul chocolate protein powder. I'm not gonna lie, I've been trying this off for months because I was a bit scared that I wasn't gonna like it, and then I saw this girl on TikTok say that it tasted like a chocolate milkshake, and I was like, surely not. So I put some milk in and I was like, I'm gonna put it to the test. It actually tastes like a chocolate milkshake. The girl was not lying. This is the best protein powder I think I've ever tried, and I'm not even just saying that because I work with them. Like, I hate protein powder, that's why I haven't tried it, but this one, it's so good. It doesn't taste vegan at all. To be fair, I put it with normal milk. I think if I had it with water, I wouldn't like it. So top tip, have your protein powder with milk. This tastes, honestly, it's so good. Anyway, I'm gonna sit here, drink this, read my book. I'm just gonna be cozy. Oh my god, the best Saturday ever. No. Surely not. Oh. Okay, now I'm a little bit scared for the rest of this book. I went out for a walk with my mum. Then I went to Tesco to get dinner and some snacks because Alex is out with some friends. I also came home with a new Christmas tree. I'm sorry, it was only £3.50 from Tesco's, and it's a real tree. She's just so cute. I couldn't resist. I had to bring her home. And then I thought, this tin is really nice. This like green, well, it's not a tin, what is it? Plant pot. I thought I can reuse that. I've got some other plants that I can put in there. So I bought her, and I love her. The only thing, I don't know where I'm gonna put her. I might put her in the lounge, but also I kind of want her in the background of my videos. So I might move my book tree to that corner and put this there. It's gonna need light, but anyway, I'm put it down there. I'm going to have a nice bath, I think. I'm gonna have some of my crackers for a snack, and then I'm gonna run the bath, have a bath, read my book in there. I don't know which book I'm gonna read. I think it might just carry on with Souls and Sinners because I do want to finish it, and then after that I'll have my dinner, and that's gonna be my evening. Sorry, I don't know why I just gave you a lowdown there, but there you go. Hello, it's actually the next day, and I'm just popping on here to say thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and the next video I'm really excited for. I hope to see you there. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.